Here is every bet that I placed at UFC Abu Dhabi. Let's take a quick gander at the Bet MMA. We are currently down 57 units lifetime. That is a horrific look. But we are profitable on props, plus 14 units. And we are profitable on parlays, plus 18 units. If you look at our all-time chart, yeah, it's trending down, but kind of trended up recently, so you kind of like to see that. If you look at the bets last week, we were profitable 2.83 units, and the week before that, we were profitable 9.8 units, and the week before that, we were profitable 0.08 units. So technically speaking, we are on a 3-week winning streak. So let's try to make some cheddar at Abu Dhabi. Let's start off with the fights that I do not have a bet on. I do not have a bet on Ibo Aslan versus Billy Alakana. I think Ibo Aslan will get a round 2 KO, but I also do think that Billy Alakana is very live for a round 1 submission. Muslim Salikov and Carlos Leal, I think Carlos Leal has no value whatsoever. I think Muslim Salikov has an outside chance to win a points fighting decision. That's plus 800. But since my pick is Carlos Leal by KO, I didn't really feel right putting a bet on that fight. And then Peter Yan versus Marcus McGee, I simply cannot parlay Peter Yan minus 400. He fights on very thin margins. And I also can't bet Marcus McGee. I think Peter Yan is going to win the fight, and I think it's too big of a step up. So all those reasons, we are not betting on these fights. First fight that we have a bet on, Martin Buday and Marcus Pacheco. My pick in this one is Martin Buday to win by decision. I think he'll outlast and out-cardio Marcus Pacheco. And for those reasons, we went ahead and bet Martin Buday plus 250. I think the line is way too wide, and I think Martin Buday, as long as he doesn't get submitted in round 1, he should win the fight. Next fight we have a bet on is Muhammad Yahya and Steven Nguyen. I do not think Muhammad Yahya is UFC level, therefore we're going with Steven Nguyen to win this by KO. We have a couple bets here. I actually bet Steven Nguyen KO as a prop, and I also bet Steven Nguyen on the money line as a parlay piece. Next fight we have a bet on is Amanda Ribas and Tabitha Ricci, and there's no way that you can bet either side pre-flop, I don't believe. Amanda Ribas at minus 170, that's just too big of a number for women's MMA. And Tabitha Ricci, she fights on very thin margins, so you're going to really trust her to win a decision? I don't think so. So for those reasons, the bet we actually placed was for this fight to end in a split or majority decision. You can get plus 250 for that, and I just basically think the judges also don't know what's going on in front of them. Us at home, we're going to be like, oh, I think Ribas won, and then Ricci is going to win. And then the judges are going to be like, oh, I think Ricci won rounds 1 and 3, and Tabitha won round 2 and 4. There's not even 4. Split decision. Next fight we have a bet on is Damon Blackshear and Davy Grant. My first instinct was Davy Grant money line, but the more I analyze it, the more I think Davy Grant is prone to getting submitted. He has 4 submission losses on his resume. So for those reasons, the pick is Damon Blackshear SUB, and the bet is also going to be Damon Blackshear SUB. I'm not insanely confident with this one, but I'm getting good enough plus money to put a little bet on it. Then we got Bryce Mitchell taking on Said Nurmagomedov. I think Said Nurmagomedov is going to win, and the only way possible that he can win this fight is if he wins by sub. So we bet on Said Nurmagomedov money line, and we also bet his submission prop plus 400. There is a real chance that Bryce Mitchell just dominates in the wrestling and wins by decision, but I'm just, we got 15 minutes to work here, Said, and we also have the Abu Dhabi buff, and Said Nurmagomedov is around that region, so I think it's going to be near impossible for a guy from Arkansas to win a decision in Abu Dhabi. Not saying it's rigged, but if it is, what kind of benefits? Then we got Nikita Krylov taking on Bogdan Guskov. I think Nikita Krylov is going to take down and submit Bogdan Guskov early. In 3 of 4 Bogdan Guskov UFC fights, he has been taken down and controlled for the entirety of the first round, and Nikita Krylov is going to be the best grappler he will have faced up until this point. So we're going with Nikita Krylov SUB as the pick, and the prop is good enough where I'm also going to be betting Nikita Krylov to win by submission. Assu Almabaev and Jose Ochoa square off in the next fight, and I think Assu Almabaev is going to dominate in the wrestling in this one, and I think he's going to win a very Assu Almabaev-esque decision where he controls for long periods of time and racks up multiple takedowns. So we're going with Assu Almabaev to win by decision, and I actually have a bet on Assu Almabaev money line. The price is good enough where I think we should be betting it. He started as a minus +400 favorite and now has been bet all the way down to -120. So I think the price is right. We're going with Assu. Shara Bullet takes on Marc-Andre Barriault in the next one, and everyone thinks that Shara Bullet is going to go out there and win by vicious round 1 or round 2 KO. He's -700 for a reason. I'm actually taking the contrarian route on this one. I'm going with Shara Bullet to win by decision, and the prop is +240. The KO is like -150, so the decision +240, that's good enough for me. He's won by decision before in the UFC against guys we thought he would KO, so Shara Bullet decision. In the main event, Robert Whittaker taking on Reinier de Ridder. My pick is Robert Whittaker to win. I have him inside the distance, and therefore we're going to be betting him -120, and we also have him in a parlay that I will discuss very shortly. Finz's Hammer Lock is my weekly underdog, most confident pick, and we are 24-44, you know, not the best, but we have won 2 weeks in a row. We picked Walter Walker 2 weeks ago, and we picked Paulo Costa the week after that. So this week, we're going with an interesting pick. There wasn't really an underdog that I was confident enough to just blast out. You know, we have Martin Buday, we have Said Nurmagomedov, but other than those two guys, I have no other underdogs picked. So this week, I'm actually parlaying my 2 most confident picks. Steven Nguyen, he should defeat Muhammad Yahya. It should not be close. And Robert Whittaker, I think he's going to show levels to RDR. I think it's too big of a jump in competition. So if you parlay these 2 right now, you can get it for plus money on basically any book that offers these fights. Now, I did cook up an insane long shot. I'm going to start including these in the bet breakdown videos. And well, here it is. Here it is right here. Plus 400,000. All right, 59 cents wins you 2,700. Then you basically, you need a little luck. All right, you're going to need a little prayer. You're going to need God to shine his light down. Steven Nguyen by KO. I think that's a pretty easy one. Billy Alicana by sub. I know I have Ibo Aslan by KO picked, but Alicana sub plus 1,000. I mean, I don't know how you can't sprinkle that. Damon Blackshear by sub, we have that bet. Said Nurmagomedov by sub, we have that bet. Nikita Krylov by sub, we have that bet. And Robert Whittaker to win by KO. 59 cents wins you 2,800. You're welcome. Takedown props that I probably will be betting tomorrow. Here they are. We got Billy Alicana takedowns. I'm going to get him, you know, at least 1 or 2 or 3 takedowns. We'll do a little ladder on that. Nikita Krylov takedowns, going to probably ladder that. Marc-Andre Barriault takedowns. I think once he feels the pressure of Shara, he's going to start shooting, and I think he'll actually get them. Marcus McGee takedowns as well. He's shown that he can mix it up in his previous fights. Peter Yan, sure, he has okay takedown defense, but when people actually try to take him down relentlessly, he does get taken down, and Marcus McGee might do that as a plus 300 underdog.